Greetings, fellow cyber dogs and fellow Minecrafters and fellow mine squatches all over the world. This is Delakaba with Delakaba Presents Let's Play Minecraft 1710, the Squatchcraft Server Terrafirmacraft mod. Welcome, welcome. Here I am at the top of the tower here in the town of Hardluck, looking over what is about 2 years of hard work, believe it or not. Yep. 2 Minecraft years of hard work. Gotta pick up this carrot before I go. Wanted to hold on to my helmet here, but from here atop the town hall, which also happens to be atop my bedroom, but that's kind of the way these things work out when out here on the frontier. I'm looking out at the town here, and I'm gonna give us a quick tour of the town, and then I'm gonna leave this town. Yep. It's right down there in the corner. That's the big garden, and then in there's a protected garden, just a little place where, just in case something crazy happens, hopefully you don't lose things. But I brought in the first harvest and replanted. Crops were starting to get real close to a second harvest, and some of them I did second harvest. But then the snow came, and thankfully Scuberson was on, and he harvested up and collected the seeds and stored them away, and definitely saved the day, because I spent the entire day yesterday, basically from the time I woke up until the time I fell asleep in my chair here on the server, babysitting crops and babysitting the animals. And I do mean babysitting. Let's head on down here, and I'm gonna put my helmet on real quick. It's almost broken. This is my trophy helmet. I took this off of Skelly, and I have not seen one since. I'm going to just jump back to F5. As you might be able to see here, if I catch the correct angle, I've got a barrel strapped to my back. Something very important to know about this mod, if you're playing this either solo or here on the server, that really is never pointed out until you really dig into the wiki, is that when you go to your interface, when you go to your inventory, the picture of your character just on top of your right shoulder is a slot to put something on your back, a barrel or a quiver or whatever. And basically I played 1.5 years here on our lovely server without realizing that right there one could have a barrel or one of the ceramic containers, or, did not know, was going, why don't they have like backpacks? Well, come to find out, take a barrel, it's basically a backpack, fill it up, strap it to your back, and you can move. Take it off your back and put it in your inventory. You're glued to your location until you put that barrel down. But get it on your back, you can tote it. But alright, enough about that. I was checking to see what kind of breads we could make, because, believe it or not, 1.5 years, I hadn't made a loaf of bread. I mean, I've been eating plenty good, but I've been eating carrots and soybeans and venison and stuff like that. We'll be back to take a look at all of this, and yep, there it is, the first snow. Alright, wow. The first snow, better get out here before it's all covered up. So, here we are in the town of Hardluck. So called because our beginnings were mighty tough here. We no more started getting settled in when we had a map reset, but the season continued, so we kind of started over almost at the beginning of winter. Here we have the public wood pile, and whoever keeps leaving all the doors open is pissing me off. Just thought I'd let you know that. This is number 2 Hardluck Square. This is community stores. This is where we're keeping food and that kind of stuff, some extra armor, some community tools. We've managed to get bronze going. Oh, yes, darling, I'm on my way. Hang on. And up here is where Hawkeye lives. He has an Enderman in his house at the moment. In here are the cows. Hello. Normally I'd say hello, ladies, but here we actually have gender, which is fantastic. So we're going to... All right, now... You, Mr. Man, behave yourself. And you are due pretty much any time, and you've only been part of the harem a short time. You've been busy. So we've got 2 calves on the way. So you guys, please, here in town, feed these guys every day. Get some grain. Get some grain. They love their grain. Shift, right click, see the heart. Give them a right click. Give them some love. All right. These guys, they'll munch, and then they'll just tell you their status, which is pregnant. Him, if you had another cow in here, if you feed him just like that, he's ready to rock and roll. He wants to make more babies. So it's the same thing with any of the males. Sunrise on a snowstorm. This over here is Kolib's place, which appears to be growing by leaps and bounds. Speaking of growing by leaps and bounds, up here is Scooberson's place. Yesterday it was just a framework while I was landscaping and stuff as a present to the guys before I take off here to do my walkabout. Because I'm going hunting. I'm finding a place where there's good game, and then I'm going to settle in and see what I can do about bringing home a bunch of meat eventually. But this is Scoob's place. Looks like he's used half the wood pile to build that. Either that or somebody's been hard at work making charcoal or something. Probably charcoal. Scoob's good like that. So is Cole. These are the peoples. Hang on here. You guys stand back. Let me through. Now you guys get away from this entrance. You got sheared and you're gonna freeze your butts off. All right, guys. I am going on walkabout. This is you right here. You take good care of that baby when it comes. Yeah, you too. And you, sir, keep your business to yourself. Like you two are just keep your business to yourself. All right. And you, sir, take good care of her. She's gonna be bringing that babby along literally any day now. Yes, you. So guys, Hawk and Bizcut, Scooberson, Colib, you guys, please. Bizcut brought these animals in. Yesterday I was on all day long from dawn to dusk, from the time I woke up to the time I fell asleep. I've been feeding these guys to familiarize them. They're now to white familiarization, meaning that they've got a white border around their heart, which means they've passed 30%. And as long as you guys feed them consistently, they'll get more and more familiar. Their babies should be almost completely familiarized, but there are lots of babies on the way. 2 baby cows, a little mule, because somebody can't keep the business to themselves, and baby burro. I wanted to hang out and wait for them to be born, but I've got my Jones going so bad. I sat here and babysat the crops and the animals all through, basically from spring until the first snowfall. And in the process, I landscaped our whole little town down here. I mean, I did a butt ton of work yesterday. Like Hawk is going to get on and he's going to go, oh my freaking God. You guys, get away from the door. You're going to freeze your butt off. You're going to freeze your butt off. I sheared these guys to test some shears. By the way, there are some wrought iron ingots in here that I've taken off of zombies as I've fought through the nights. And you can use the classic, use 2 of these to do the classic shear recipe so you guys can shear the sheep. All right. They appear to only grow their wool once a year, so hope they get those babbies cranking or we find some more and bring them home soon. Let's see, what else? So that's the public storage. This is a nice little overhang with for the berry bushes. They might even produce berries one last time. Whoa, yeah, they got thorns, by the way. That always startles me. This is Bizcut's place. Hey, Biz. Ooh, we're peeking in Biz's windows. Ooh, we're creepy. All right. And let's just take a look here at the town hall. This is the town hall. Town Hall of Hardluck, established June 1st in the year 1000. Blackba, gone on winter hunt to south. Feed the animals. Upper storage is public and community until he back. All right, so, my friends and fellow townsmen, here are the community tools. Right here, as much as I could put up there. In the chest here are all these metals. There's lots of silver and stuff going on here. There's leather in here as well as in the public storage. There's sand for glass. There's thatch for fires. There's even rocks and sticks, okay? Over here in this storage, you got, oh, these berries are going to go bad, guys. Oh, crap. Let's not let the berries go bad. Let's not let the berries go bad. There you go. Sorry, guys, but they're about to go. So I might as well get them in before they rot. But there's tomatoes, there's tons of potatoes, and green beans. In this chest here, there's some onions and green beans as well. There's some wheat to feed the animals. I'm also going to take this barley and put it there, which you put that in the crafting grid with a knife, and that'll produce the barley grain. If you make flour out of that, you can make bread, which is how I made my lovely loaf of bread here. Or actually, no, I made mine out of oats, that's right. But over here, here are all the seeds. There's a bucket here. You can milk the cows once a day, now that they're familiarized. There's some rice here. And I'm actually taking these strings. That's so I can do bow and fishing rod. I've got my quiver here, but right now I've got a barrel on my back. I've also got some barrels here. But anyway, less about my inventory, more about what I'm leaving behind now. This is my private space up here, but I'm opening this up while I'm on this walkabout as public storage. There's a bed here, so if you come on the server starting out new, you can use this. It won't let you sleep in it, but it will let you use it to set your spawn. Here at the head of the bed, you'll see there's some fire starters, some thatch, some knives, just some odds and ends. Most importantly, here in the corner, there's flux. Okay, we'll talk about that in a moment. Here are all the other minerals, and here are a bunch of molds. Over here is dirt, a little bit of lumber, and odds and ends. This storage really needs to be sealed. There's a jack-o'-lantern in here and 14 pumpkins. There's also a quiver and a little bit of thatch. We're going to seal this. Good. It's warming up enough that we should lose the snow on our first day out. Now, this over here there are some medium rawhides and large rawhides. There's a black bronze hammer, and so you can see just the stuff that's in here, guys. While I'm gone, please consider this public storage. This is normally where I have my personal gear, but right now it's just a bunch of javelins and stuff. You guys feel free to access those. This is completely public, always public. It's just we ran out of room downstairs, and here's where we were storing seeds. There's some bone meal here, but that flux is important for a couple of reasons. So the first thing is, outside the door here, I've got you guys set up, all right? The first barrel here is a lime water barrel. You unseal this, and you drop your hides in here, up to 20 large hides, and let them soak. And when you take them out, you then move on to a water barrel and seal them in a water barrel. 8 hours later, you take them out, and then you put them here in the tannin, and they will produce leather. All right? And so you guys, with 20 hides, you can produce 60 leather. There's already between the little chest in here and the chest over there, about 60 leather around, and it's just amazing using the leather crafting interface. We'll eventually get there. But here in this barrel, if you take a barrel of water and you add the appropriate amount, at least 4 basic units of barley, and you seal it up, look what you get. All right. So this is my New Year's present to y'all. It's Oktoberfest. Roll on the barrel. You guys are gonna have to get yourself some glass containers, glass bottles. And I don't drink anymore, so I'm lighting up my pipe here instead of drinking some of this beer, but I went teetotaler back many years ago. Stay out of trouble. Here, munch on my oat bread. Yummy oat bread. I'm kind of ready to rock and roll, but so there you go, guys. You'll have to make little glass bottles. You know how to do that. Make yourself some glass. Traditional Minecraft craft recipe. And you guys can have yourself. Or you can wait till I get back. Vintage 7 October 2003. And we can just let it camp. But you guys really, really need to get some fruit in a water barrel to make vinegar so that you can then And also you need brine because you've got to preserve this food or the food's going to rot. That's why I'm going hunting. I figured that we'd get a melt here during the day. But all right, guys. We are ready to rock and roll. I've decided I'm going to go south. Let's pull up the map. I've decided I'm going to go south. I'm going to head down this way. I've got a camp down here at the edge of this field where there are a lot of game animals, and I'm going to see what the situation is. But I think more likely than not, I am going to head south. Not into this. This is no longer unknown. We've been through here. This is the clay area down here. Now I'm going to head due south from here. Cross some water. See what I can find here. But all right. Got my prep. Bunch of my bread. All right, you guys. Behave yourselves. Very important to know. Torches go out in rain and in snow. They also eventually go out just by burning out over a period of time. But jack-o'-lanterns do not. That's why there's so many around here. But alright. Town Hardluck. I think I'm going to go up to the temple to Bajango. Light the pipe. Ding dang it, my Cavendish will not stay lit. Stay lit, Cavendish. That is the one thing we do not have in this mod, and I'm going to tell you, I'm a grown-up, and it's my own prerogative. I happen to be not only a smoker, but someone who makes my living with pipes and tobacco, and therefore, I smoke my pipe. And I wish I could grow some tobacco in this darn mod. But here we are. The Temple of Bajango and the Minecraft gods. Made out of smooth, chiseled stone. And you say, well, gee, that's a pretty boring temple, dude. Well, no, it's not, because first of all, this temple is made out of the natural rock that was here. We just chiseled it to make sure it was stable. Secondly, you got to understand the symbology of the Temple of Bajango and the Minecraft gods. Now, hang on, let me get on down here. See, this is the Squatchcraft Server, and I think I'm the only one who knows the secrets of the gods and powers of the Squatchcraft Server, because I'm the only Squatch on the server. By golly, I love Biscuit and Scooberson, and Hawkeye's my best buddy, and Enderdog the Bold. He's awesome, and Kolb was so helpful around the place here, man. Scooberson saved the day by bringing in the second crop. I got on and I saw snow on the ground, thought, we're wrecked. But Scooberson saved the day. 2 years game time of community living and sharing the burden and the work and taking turns. Biscuit went out and brought in cows, and I found burros, and Biz had made rope, and he brought burros and horse in, and I found sheep and brought them in. We've been battling the zombie horde, and I've just taken the time to make sure we are secure. We got a wall all the way around, my friends. There's a port to the north. You can go out that port and out to the sea with plenty to explore. We got the 2 white cedar trees, which in my spiritual beliefs, those are for luck out into the valley. So here we go, guys. I want you to understand the symbology here of what I've left you. Here in the town of Hardluck, where we started out with so much trouble. We've invested 2 years of game time up here on the hill in the east. Right. Look, here's the east. The gate of the white cedars. All right. That's where we go out into the sunrise. There's the North Star that guides us. That's where the sun sets. All right. So this is where we're born. Civilization here. This is where we live our lives with guidance from the Creator. And this is where we go when we die, the west, where the sun sets. And here in the south is a place where we understand our lives. And here in the forge at the bottom, made by Mr. Biscuit, this is where we create things. We're forged in the fire. But we got a mountain to climb. Sorry, I'm getting into my squatch. We got a mountain to climb, little squatches. Sometimes it's tough to climb the mountain. And here we walk into the place of power up high. We can see where we came from, but we can't see where we're going. But we know if we just follow knowledge, we have the door to adventure. Winter is coming, but so am I. Got to use them skills, peoples. To squatch on. You know what's nice about barrels? When they aren't full of stuff and making you sink, they help you float. Unfortunately, that's not part of this this mod. But I really think if I could give my couple of suggestions for this mod, as somebody who has these skills as a survivalist for real, who can walk out into the woods and do this for real. I mean, I love this mod because it's the first mod I've ever done where I'm in my element. I'm doing what I'm good at. And that is classic survival. And staying low and being on the move and using your combat assets. I got some training, folks. But I don't have the room to carry that. But note this, you guys, there was some good ores there. Because rather than being away and being a stranger, this is now my chance to be out in the field and be reporting. And maybe every once in a while, one of my fellows will catch up with me in the field and we'll work together. But I've got to get clear of some dangerous stuff here. This right here is gonna get hairy. Hello, full moon. It's the reason I decided to go out. The full moon, which is the fruition. Give me your tasty XP. And I've got archers all around. Just keep dividing the angle between their fire. That's all you can do. Divide a line directly between the masses of fire and split that line. When you find out you got pursuit, get something high behind you to cut off previous view. And again, divide the hostile line. Yes, you're gonna travel a greater distance because you're moving around constantly, but the thing is you can just keep working around these hostiles. Keep yourself near a body of water. Pick your battles. Sometimes you got a chance to pick up a little bit of extra. Now, when it comes to archers or spiders, I'll take spiders any day. Excuse me. I shed a little tear going out of town. Woo! Look at this guy. I am using the John Smith 1710 Universal. It does nothing in terms of actually having anything in it for this mod, really. But the textures, of course, are my classic take on Minecraft, number one. Okay, so there's our north, there's our west. We're just going to swim this a little bit farther because soon the sun will be up and all this running and dodging will be over. What do you got? You've got a shovel. Alright. Hop up here. And I'm going to divide the hostile line here by going right through this fool. There we go. That's the second stage of an understanding of combat. We got things all over us. Just move and hop, angle and hop. Angle and hop, and into the water we go. And we're going to go below. And now push forward. Go below, push forward. Don't drown, but make it impossible for these fools to get a hold of us. The sun is coming. Use them skills. 2 game years in the field. Got my business honed. Good morning, sunshine. Well, good morning, starshine. The North Star is always there, and that's why I use this John Smith pack. Because it gives me better skies, which means I always know where north is. Now, we're going to pull up our map and get a look. We're going to cut across and down and cut across and down, and we're headed down here eventually. Right here, see? So, oh, do I really want to swim that? I don't want to swim that. It's winter. Besides, we want to see some territory. Now, normally I only go 20 minutes with an episode. But for this initial situation here, because I know that there are some of you who have really been waiting to see what's up with this whole mod, basically, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and explore until I find a place where I'm going to settle. I'm fundamentally going to make a basic storage facility and dump off all of my fancy here for a bit, and I'm going to go primitive so that I can show you guys step by step how it is you start from the ground up with this mod. So whether you're playing this mod solo or you decide to apply to the whitelist, go to dogcraft.com, look at underneath this video, and you'll see if you're interested in playing on the Squatchcraft server, go to this thread, and basically it's the whitelist thread. Go there but there are 2 things. Number 1, you have to be subscribed to my channel. Number 1, and number 2, you have to be a member of dogcraft.net, which is easy enough. Just go over there and register. And of course, to register over there, you got to be 15. But that's just because, you know, you guys are nuts. You know, you guys are absolutely nuts. And if we don't make sure you're at least 15, we can get in trouble. All right, first things first. Note this here. This right here is tetrahedrite. This is copper ore. This is exposed copper ore, which means this whole area here is probably full of copper. I kind of don't have the room to carry it, but I want to check it anyway. If you have a pick, I want to show you physics at work. Pow. And it kicks out that tetrahedrite to me. Rich tetrahedrite. Oh boy. I've got some of that already in one of my pots here. And if I add it to it, if this was just tetrahedrite, I wouldn't be too terribly excited. But this is the good stuff. And I wasn't expecting to run into something quite so decent quite so quick. The tools I'm using here are black bronze, which is copper, excuse me, copper and silver and gold mixed together. We have a pit mine. I didn't show you the pit mine. I didn't show you the greenhouse. Got to leave some things, you know. But basically, I spent all of yesterday and a good deal of the day before, because I got a little bit of a cold here. Just like I say, babysitting the animals and the crops and getting everything set up and defensible. So the town is a safe haven now, so you guys can go out and explore and create your own, adventure, man. Go out there and start your own little settlement or whatever. There is one area, it's a lake kind of central of our area, and you'll know it because there's trees that have been very purposely planted in a kind of a semicircle. And that area up there is the Squatchmoot, and it's sacred to my people, all right? So if you get to the center, you'll know that you've found the center of the Squatchmoot because there's a very high point It comes up to a very high point, and there at the very, very top of the very high point is one lone peach tree, the ancient peach tree of wisdom. Don't mess with the Squatchmoot. In fact, I will show you here. All right, guys, this is something I'm going to reveal to you. Please, 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 please. You can help the Squatchmoot or you can hinder the Squatchmoot. Here, my map is still from last winter when I passed through them. See this arc of trees here? This all around the lake here, okay? And there's actually a small house that's built down in here and stuff. All of this is the Squatchmoot, this area here. And this, you'll know it because you'll come to this big black needle here. And if you travel to the east, you'll find the big black needle here, and then there's gold up in here. You should know that. This is not Squatchmoot here. The Squatchmoot is all up in this area. You'll know it because you'll see the peach tree. The peach tree is the heart of the Squatchmoot, and I'm not gonna give away all the secrets, but that's kind of sacred territory to my people, and I'd appreciate it if you did not molest it. There are apple trees and peach trees and cherry trees, and its abundance represents much to my people. As long as you don't chop down the trees, you are welcome to go to the Squatchmoot and gather apples and cherries and things. But please be kind to the Squatchmoot. Alright. So here we go. We need water soon. Let's pull up our map, get back on. We're headed pretty much dead southeast. We're headed right to here. I'm going to mark that and just say next. And there we go. So now, when we go back, there we go. We got a marker. Let's go. Hello, horses. So the first thing you guys should know is that with your knife or your sickle, either one, since it's daylight, we don't have to worry about it. If we take our knife and we cut grass, what we get is thatch. All right? And is there anything really I can toss away? Not really. Let me eat my bread. See, can I finish this off? Because thatch is very important. Oh, I hate to do it, but phew, there we go. I picked up the thatch. Now, this straw, you take 4 of these straw and you put them together in a square in your crafting grid, and it makes a block of thatch. And thatch is really your first available roofing material. What's awesome about thatch is you can make a solid block of thatch, like a 3 by 3 by 3. All right, push right into the center of it, and as long as you didn't aggro a mob, you're invisible to them in the heart of that block of thatch. So a thatch block or a thatch hut is a perfectly viable way to stay safe. But remember 2 things. If you aggro a mob and run into your thatch hut, they're going to follow you right in, because thatch does not keep anything out. You can walk right through it. Okay? But it does block line of sight. Alright, well, I am glad to be gathering this thatch. Thatch is used for lots of important things. Thatch is used, normally I'd also be picking up sticks and I'd be picking up the rocks as well, but I just don't have the inventory. I am setting out to create a new settlement. It is a settlement that's going to be there because of some fundamental, I guess you'd say, a resource or virtue that is not available elsewhere. Okay, that's the whole point of setting out to establish a new base, a new colony. And that means that certain times of the year, we can travel to these various places. I'm going to bust the ice here. I'm going to grab my clay jug. Now, normally, if I didn't have a clay jug, I'd get to an empty spot in my hot bar, and I would right-click to drink directly from this. But because I've got the jug, I'm going to fill that, drink my fill, make sure I've got extra on me. Put the thatch up there, switch to my carrot. Now, in the real world, they may not be very interesting to you, but carrots and cabbages, very, very important crops if you come across them, because their seeds are very cold hardy. The young plants can handle the cold really well. If they get covered in snow, it can be a problem, but they'll just give you back your seeds, basically. But hello, horses. See your horses over here. I just wanted to grab this thatch because, like I say, how in the world did I just end up? I'm not sure exactly what happened there. That was very strange. Okay. Well. Aha, here we go. Now this is selenite. This is ore. You'll find ores laying on the ground, and if you do, they're worth picking up. I'm focusing right now on thatch as I go. Watch these. The edges can collapse, but there can be good stuff down there. I like the music in this mod. Now that we have rehydrated, we can get our run back on. Head towards our marker. Lots of horses out here in this plain. Can you tell that I'm following my original route? I can follow my line of harassment all the way along. So I came through here at night, and as you can see, I was absolutely under siege here. And you can see my line, and they're ahead in the distance. Following the marker of the line of siege. This is our first destination on our journey here. Hello, boys! Yes, it's me. I've come back. Oh, you're gonna set yourself on fire to come over here to get me. Only to find out you're on the wrong side of the chasm. Isn't that a bummer? Isn't that just aggravating? Come on around. There you go. Come on. Over here. Over here. That's it. Thank you. Alright, let's get back to business. Woohoo! Welcome to the outpost. Come on in here. It's just a very simple space. We've got jack-o'-lanterns, so our light is solid and continuous. If we go on up and pop the hatch and come up the top, we've got ourselves just a place up here where we can get a good look at the lay of the land and see what's happening. We made her just in time. The mobs are coming in. But this is stop number 1. Let's see what we got in the chest down here. Alright, that's what I was hoping. Some emergency green beans in my boat. Got a few wheat seeds here. Alright, well, so basically what I want to do here is I want to make some barrels. Well, I've actually brought the barrels with me right here. Because remember, I'm trying to help establish resources. So I'm just going to place these barrels. That'll open up one of my places in my inventory. And as you can see, we have wet storage and we have dry storage. And for the moment, we'll end up dumping some of this stuff off. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be going out and making short work of some of our bovine friends over here. And taking their meat and hides and storing them in these barrels. I'll be taking some of the meat and hides with me, but the remainder will be here sealed away. And once I leave this area, and we shouldn't have to worry about it breaking down too terribly rapidly. So with that, I am going to sign out. I'd like to thank you for joining me, Dalakaba, on the first step of this, my adventure. Oh goodness, I've still got this I've got this gigantic barrel still on my back. Ugh. Now when I take this barrel off my back, basically I can't do anything but place it. Oh, there we go. Now I can move again. Whew, hello barrel. That's all my seeds and that kind of stuff that I'll need for the new settlement. I made sure and leave the majority of the seeds behind, but thank you for joining me, Dalakaba, for Dalakaba Presents Let's Play Minecraft 1710, the Squatchcraft Server, where we are playing the Terrafirmacraft mod. And we have gone to the southern outpost to gather carnivorous food type stuff, and then after storing some up for our fellows for the winter, I am going to be heading south on further adventure. But in the meantime, here's a Minecraft high five with a carrot in your face. Whoosh! And I am out. Peace.